This is Andrew Martinez with Home of Fight. I am here with PFL featherweight ALEXEI Pergande. How you doing today, man?
Doing great, man. I'm excited for this interview.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time. So you're coming off a big win, man. Arce, UFC veteran. Uh, you dropped him in the second round with a nasty knee. You faced a little bit of adversity late. Now that you've had a few weeks to go back and rewatch the fight, what are some things that you're proud of, and what are some things that maybe you want to sharpen up or just work on a bit?
Obviously, it's very crazy to be an 8-0 fighter going against a veteran like that with 10 fights in the UFC, winning record in the UFC. That in general is just crazy itself. He's fought huge names.
Mm-hmm.
That itself, and then avenging the loss of my coach Herbert Burns is also just a cherry on top as well. Going into that, obviously I knew he had the more experience and the more cage time and all of that, but rewatching the fight, it didn't really seem like it. It felt like I was very composed. I was picking my shots, and I feel like I was just overall a better striker.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, like you said, that knee setup, the check hook over the top, they were landing all night. I do feel like the only really thing that was it's in my control, but it wasn't in my control during the fight was the only thing is I had a really hard weight cut. Nothing went to plan for the weight cut. 12 and a half hours, no sleep. From Thursday, we started at 8 p.m. and then we finished the cut at 9 a.m. The next day. Zero sleep, cutting throughout the whole night. So that was pretty miserable, and I feel like that took a lot out of me. And you can see really the only damage I took was the last three and a half minutes of that fight in the third round. But in my head, I knew I was winning. Do I feel like I could have pressed a little bit more and not let him take as much space? Yes, I do feel like, but in my head, I was also like, okay, like I've done so much damage to this guy's face. I broke his nose. His whole face is messed up. So I was kind of playing it safe a little bit. I was like, he's coming after me. He still wants to take my head off, but yeah, I didn't want to risk my gas tank, especially with that hard cut. So I was being a little bit smarter, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm having a wedding coming up, and then after that, I'm gonna see if I'm gonna be moving up, if I'm gonna be staying down. So there's gonna be a lot of big changes, maybe happening in the next few months.
Awesome. Well, yeah. First off, congratulations on the wedding. Good luck with that. And that was actually my next question. So I know at the presser after PFL Pittsburgh, you said that it was tough weight cut. So was this more of just like a one-off thing? It was just a bad situation all around, or are you considering 155 in the future?
I'm definitely considering. I know I'm gonna have to move to 155. I'm 24 years old right now. Turned
Right.
25 in May. Like I'm still growing, and just looking at the pictures like from last year, from the year before, just seeing my body. Like I'm just growing muscle like by the year, like rapidly. So I know I'm getting bigger. 6 feet tall, 6 foot. Featherweight is pretty rare.
Right.
Isn't much of them out there. So yeah, I know it's gonna be I'm gonna have to move to lightweight one day. I just don't know if it's gonna be next fight, if it's gonna be the fight after that. Because obviously I'm ranked in the PFL at featherweight, so it does suck kind of moving out and having to restart a new weight class. But at the end of the day, I gotta do what's best for my body and what's best for me as an athlete for my performance.
Absolutely. So you came into the PFL through the Challenger Series in 2022. Obviously, all of your fights have been in the PFL. All your professional fights have been in the PFL. Are you interested in potentially going to the UFC at some point?
I'm never gonna say never. I get those questions daily
Hmm.
about going to the UFC, and everyone's always asking about that. Uh, Never gonna say never to that, but right now I'm very happy with the PFL. I like how they're doing things. I like how they're running their organization. They take care of me. I've built so many relationships from inside of PFL. And I feel like John Martin now stepping up. That's just an incredible thing as well. Mike Hogan, great at matchmaking. So it's gonna be. I love where I'm at. But like I said, I'm never gonna say never. I'm in a contract with PFL right now. They're great. They've been great to me, and yeah, I'm enjoying my time here.
I love that. So you train at Killcliff in Florida. You're surrounded by, the world's best fighters every day. One thing that I'm curious is, who are some of like the biggest names that you spar, and how does that go?
I mean, a lot of names. I mean, just what was it? Yeah, yesterday I did a round with Kamaru Usman. We had a
Mhm.
we had a fun round yesterday. He was going high pace. Yeah, that's just to start. Kamaru Usman. Then I'm getting Michael Chandler right now ready for Marcio Rufi for the White House card. I've been with him for multiple camps. He's a great guy. And then obviously Gilbert Burns out of there. Uh, there's just Jared Gordon. We have
Mhm.
Herbert Burns. We have just was so many big names there that I've trained with RDR and all these guys. I mean, I've learned a lot, and I'm always a guy that's gonna if I see someone doing something I like, I'm gonna ask those athletes, and that's really mainly where I've been learning is from all these guys, from all these partners, from Robbie Lawler's now stepping up as a head coach as well. So it's a good time over there. And yeah, shout out to obviously my boxing coaches Dieter and Sean and Herbert. He's a great jiu-jitsu coach. So Henry as well. So it's it's a good team over there, and I'm learning from the best guys in the world. And these sparring rounds, I feel like, again, I said this before my last fight, like going against a veteran, it helped me with my confidence because I'm like I'm doing this on the daily. I'm sparring these guys with 30
Mhm.
plus fights on the daily, world champions. And yeah, I had a lot of insight from Kamaru before that fight as well. He was talking about how to stay patient, how to use my feints, how to use my jab, and yeah, he's a great teammate. So I'm very very appreciative for that.
I love to hear that. Is the sparring king belt still a thing there?
For me, yes, I'm always the sparring champ. Always the sparring champ, man. Coming for everyone's head during sparring day.
Yeah, and you just mentioned Gilbert. Were you able to watch his last fight?
Yeah, no, I did. Obviously not the way you wanted to end. You always want to end at that, perfect storyline. You
Mhm.
finish your career with a win, but he's had such an amazing career. He's such a big inspiration for so many people. Just thinking about where he grew up, where he came from in Brazil, like just the fact that he's even here and that he has made his dreams come true, that
Mhm.
itself is already such a huge inspiration. So yeah, he's a mentor. He's a amazing team leader over there at Killcliff, and I'm forever grateful for that guy.
Yeah, we love him at Home of Fight, man.
Yeah,
I hope he has a very fruitful career outside of fighting.
yeah.
Um, One thing that I wanted to talk about, you have amazing social media. You're one of the fighters that, these other guys should take note. Like, your content's amazing. Your TikTok is hilarious. How do you navigate the balance between, training for a fight and then managing, viral content?
Yeah, it's sometimes like I have to like make that switch, but I feel like I'm pretty good at making those switch on like knowing when I can't necessarily care about recording like clips and like doing all this like funner stuff, but I feel like it comes to me naturally as well, because I've been doing it for so long and so much repetition. I feel like now it's like me just being myself is like just already easy, and then me making skits, like I have these ideas always coming up, it's just like it's already there.
Mhm.
But yeah, when I'm in fight camp and I'm like getting ready for fights, I take the BS a little bit back. I'm like, okay, it's time to focus, time to lock in. I still have my fun, I still do all that, but I do it a lot less, and I know obviously what I can post, what I can't. And
Mhm.
for me, it's all about having fun. But when I'm in that fight camp mode, I flip that switch. I'm like, okay, now it's time to focus. I'm not going to worry about the cameras. I'm not going to worry about the social media. So I just focus on my fight, and I do what I need to do. That's it.
I love that. It's very professional. Um, in terms of like your career trajectory, what does success look like for you over the next, 12 to 18 months?
Um, for me, it's the start. I feel like the path has started of everything I've envisioned, everything I've thought of, everything is coming true.
Mhm.
I think back in 2023, 2024, I was saying 2026 is going to be my year. I was saying that I was going to be in the PFL $1 million tournament by 2026, but obviously that's not a thing anymore. So regardless, in my head I was manifesting that I was going to be facing someone that's going to be good, and that first step up was Julio Arce. And I went out there, I performed, I did my thing, and yeah, I knew this was going to be the start to me growing and me getting my name out there. So me right now, like, I'm not necessarily trying to look too far into the future. I have my goals. Right now is just capitalizing on this moment that I just had and just growing from there. So keep doing my social media stuff, keep active on that, and then as well as growing as a fighter, growing as an athlete every single day. And my biggest goal always coming into fighting was do the most amount of damage, number one, take the least amount of damage, number two, and three, make the most amount of money. Okay. I
Mhm.
want to be able to take care of myself, my family, everyone around me first. And then after that, I can play around with my options, play around with, whatever opportunities I have out there. But those are my three main goals at first. Once I've achieved those goals, I'm gonna have a lot of windows open up. So that's always been how I've thought of it as.
Absolutely. So would you say you prioritize an experience building fight, against a vet like Arce, or are you focused on potentially, fighting higher ranked opponents at this time?
Right now, I don't care who I fight. Whatever PFL offers me, I'm gonna take it. I don't care if it's the number one ranked guy. I don't care if it's the number five ranked guy, number six, whatever. There's
Mhm.
like basically like in featherweight and in lightweight, all the ranked guys are. There's a bunch of killers in there, man. Like the PFL like rankings, they're stacked. Like there's
Mhm.
even though like people don't, like, there might be some people that don't necessarily keep up or like see these guys or watch them as much, but there are some good guys in the PFL. And yeah, it's going to be, no matter who I fight, it's going to be a tough fight now on. So I've already accepted that. I've been already coming to that conclusion that I'm going to be only fighting tough guys from now on. So yeah, throw anyone my way and I'm ready to fight.
I love that. How do you view the PFL structure in terms of opportunities for fighter development compared to some of these other promotions?
I think, like I said, John Martin's doing such a great thing. I feel like as soon as he stepped up, there was so many decisions that I saw right away that I was like, oh, I like this. Like,
Mhm.
and there might be a little controversial for like other people, so I'm not gonna say it, but like I've seen, him making the right steps, the right decisions so far. We're gonna see it just happened. He just stepped up, so we're gonna see how it's gonna keep unfolding, how he's gonna keep building it. But he seems to really be a smart businessman, and he knows what he's doing step by step. So yeah, a lot of respect for that guy. And yeah, PFL, they've built me since day one. I've been in there since what, 2022. And it's been a great process, and it's been a great building process for me being under the bright lights as such a young fighter with, zero experience basically as a pro. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'm very grateful, and they've been amazing through it all. So very grateful.
That's great to hear. How do you define success for yourself beyond wins and losses? Granted, you haven't lost professionally yet, but
Yeah. Um, how do I find success out? I would say just being happy, like as general as it sounds, just happiness in general.
Mhm.
I feel like I am a pretty happy guy, like outside of everything. But I like to have fun out, obviously, like with my social media, I'm very present on there. And then obviously my beautiful fiance and I are getting married, so my next goal is gonna be building a family. And that's where the true happiness is. Us as
Mhm.
fighters, our careers are so short. I got maybe 10, 15 years left of this fighting stuff. And then after that, I have my whole life ahead of me still. So,
Right.
yeah, I'm going to be very family oriented. I'm going to be, I think that's where true happiness really is. And I'm grateful for every single time I walk to every single fight, and I know that it's not going to last forever. So every time I walk in there, I soak up the moment, I soak up the crowd, the atmosphere, and I really just appreciate the moment. So yeah, my future with my family, and obviously keeping my relationship close with God, and that's where true happiness is.
I love that, man. Lastly, what kind of legacy are you aiming to build as your career progresses?
Like I say, is I just want to inspire the youth, and I feel like I'm already starting to do that. I want to inspire because I feel like MMA is such a almost as big as it is in fighters' eyes and our eyes that are in it. It is like no one really knows what they're talking about when you come. Yeah, and it's been very prevalent to me when I started posting on social media so much, and I think that almost motivated me to start posting more and doing more content because people are so undereducated about martial arts and what really we put in and what we really do and what we go through and our experiences. So, for me, it was like, yeah, I'm gonna start posting social media content, and I'm gonna start inspiring the youth. And I think that for me is that's the most I can do, man. I've already reached out to so many people around the world, and every time a new younger kid comes into Killcliff or something, they'd be like, "Oh, I've seen you on TikTok." So it's already great to see that I'm putting some kind of inspiration into other people's heads of chasing their dreams. So yeah, for me, it's inspiring the youth and the upcoming fighters and putting more awareness around martial arts.
I love that, man. Well, we're hoping for the best for you. I'm looking forward to see, where your career goes. I'm excited for whoever they give you next. And thank you so much again for doing this interview. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And do you have anything else you'd like to say for, your fans, for your TikTok followers?
Yeah, just make sure you follow me on the all my socials. ALEXEI PERGANDE. Shout out to my manager Steve Swedish. Shout out to my fiance. Shout out to EFX Sports. It's I'm very blessed to be in this position. Thank you for everyone who follows me, everyone who supports. You guys are amazing. You haters too. I love you as well. We're gonna keep climbing to the top.
Absolutely. Thank you for your time.